into Happy Hour, where we discuss any other business. Anton, I think you actually had a topic for us today. What is it that you want to bring to Happy Hour?
I do have a topic, and we are scrapping Happy Hour.
What?
It is gone for today.
We didn't agree to that.
And we are going to be presenting a segment called Rant On with Anton. There are some things I need to get off my chest.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No.
Here we go.
Let's
Right.
let's get ready for it.
Buckle
Are
in,
you
everyone.
ready?
Okay.
So here's my topic. My topic is that spellcasting in D&D sucks. It is garbage. Well, specifically, cleric spellcasting is rubbish.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
Okay.
I have said in the
Right.
past that cleric was my favorite class, and
Yeah.
the spells are great and all that. But scrap all that. I'm going to contradict myself, and it's actually all terrible. Are you following so far?
Yes.
No.
You hate cleric spells.
I
You hate clerics. It's never been your favorite class.
Well, I hate / love clerics. I've played 3 so far, and that perhaps is too many. This might be the issue, but I've got some things I need to get off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Cleric, it's very strong. It's got heavy armor. It's got great spells, right? It has great spells. I will list them. So bless, okay, very good. Very good.
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah, you got cure wounds. That's like all standard fare. You got spiritual weapon at 2nd level. Get that bonus extra damage. At 3rd level, you get spirit guardians. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all there is. That's all a cleric does.
I feel.
And you got 2 kinds.
I feel you're papering over a lot of the cleric class here.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's literally all a cleric does. But if you look on the spell list of a cleric, there's 4 spells. Can you disagree? You can't disagree. Do you get where I'm getting at now, or not yet?
There are certainly spells that most clerics seem to take.
All clerics.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
I feel you're short selling the cleric somewhat.
No, I'm not, because all the other spells are rubbish. They really, really, really are. Because I've tried to use them and it just does not work. Right?
Right.
Let me list a few first.
Okay.
Okay. Bane is kind of okay, but you're better off doing Bless. Ceremony is rubbish. Command is rubbish. Cradle Destroy Ward is rubbish. Even good situational. Detect magic, kind of good actually. And it's a ritual. Detect poison, useless. Guiding Bolt, Guiding Bolt is one of the top 5 spells. I should have mentioned it in the first one. Guiding Bolt, good spell.
Right.
So your whole argument's already starting to fall apart here.
It's not. Cleric has 5 good spells, and the rest are useless. So all clerics end up looking the same. Inflict wounds, rubbish. Protect from evil. Purify, sanctuary. Sanctuary's kind of okay. But let's go at 2nd level. How do I get to 2nd? Here we go. Onto filter spells. Are you agreeing so far that the other spells are kind of useless?
No.
They are useless. Actually, Aid is really good.
Aid is really good.
2nd level.
I've also seen Create Destroy Water used to great effect.
Right. Augury, blindness, borrowed knowledge. I don't even know what that does. Calm, emotions. No, boring. Continual flame is useless. Enhanced ability, kind of cool. Find traps. General repose. Whole person is really boring, by the way. I have actually refused to use hold person because hold person does nothing. Right?
I guess I'm changing one of my spells for next level up then.
Yeah. Hold person does nothing. It literally it only works on humanoids and only if they fail. So it only works half the time and only if they fail, so a quarter of the time. So it only works 25% of the time it might do something. And that effect is 1 person does not move. And after that, you can't use any concentration spells.
Yeah, but then you get auto crits against them.
Mm-hmm.
Boring. Just, I don't know, just give bless somebody else and do something else with it. I don't know. I just find it's not good enough. Lesser restoration, locate object, prayer of healing, protection, poison, silence, warding bonds, zone of truth. So here's the
zone of truth. I mean, Adventure Zone will have something to say against you about if you badmouth Zone of Truth. That was Clint's best spell. Effectively, it's the only spell he knew how to use. But the point is,
Here's the thing. So cleric does have some very good spells. Let's get over that. And so every single cleric will be picking those spells. Let's get over that.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of like half-ass situational spells that like work once every campaign. You will get to use them. Like Zone of Truth, you will use it once in your campaign. All right. Or and like the 4th level spell, which is Control Water, you will never use that spell unless you are running a maritime sea campaign, and then you basically become god. The rest of the time, it's useless because there's never water, right?
But what about everything else the cleric brings to the table?
Like what?
Channel divinity, turn undead.
No, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about spellcasting then. Get on board.
Wow. Okay, this is a whole new side of Anton I've never seen
Yeah,
before.
listen, this is Rant on with Anton. I've got the list in front of me. I'm going to continue.
Right? Yeah.
Animate dead only works if you're evil. Beacon of Hope, you basically spend your action and then it's kind of cool. Yeah, whatever. Bestow Curse. Listen, I had a Grave Cleric with Bestow Curse, never used it. Never used it. It was just never good enough reason to use it. I was always better off casting Spirit Guardians and doing 3d8 to everyone around me, or I don't know, doing a cantrip or doing some other stuff. Bestow Curse was basically never used, and it's a touch spell. So okay. Clairvoyance, I don't even know what it does. Create food and water. You already have food and water. Why would you want more? Daylight, or whatever. Dispel Magic is good. Fast Friends, Frighten Death, Gift Warding. No, you don't. It's cost too much. Insight, Life Transference is terrible, actually. Magic Circle, I actually used it once, so it's again one of those spells that you use once per campaign.
Right. So what would you say that the cleric spell list rates under all of the other spell lists for the other classes?
Here's the thing. No and yes.
Right.
Which basically summarizes the cleric for me. It's got some.
If you ignore the auto includes that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
the rest is subpar, and that's the issue for me. You're lacking variety, especially out of combat. You can kind of do a few cute things, whatever, but especially in combat, there's never not a good reason to cast Spirit Guardians. Like what other spell are you gonna cast? Okay, Spirit Guardians will bless. It's like one or the other. You get that going because that's gonna give you a huge advantage at the start of the fight. And then what are you doing? You're doing cantrips. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's all the cleric does.
Okay.
It's Spirit Guardians and cantrips. That's it. You're
So
done.
the question I have then, Anton.
Yeah.
I almost gonna regret I'm gonna asking this question.
No, go for it. This is Ranton with Anton. You can go with it.
How would you fix it?
Oh, I didn't get that far. I just criticized. We'll do a follow-up session, which is fix it with Anton or something. I don't know.
Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but okay. So I all right. I'll agree with you.
This is such a big issue. It's Wizard of the Coast needs to get involved. Fix cleric.
We'll just at them in. I'll agree with you that yes, those 5 spells that you have mentioned, I've seen on every single cleric list. Which to the point they should just be like, basic cleric domain spells, because every cleric is going to pick Cure Wounds. They're going to pick Bless. Obviously, you badmouth Bane, and we use it in our BYOB build. But
you're when are you going to choose Bane over Bless? It's like I don't know. Situational. Bless is usually better.
Yeah. To be fair, Bless doesn't have a chance to fail, whereas Bane does.
Which I think that's I think that may be sort of thing in spellcasting, like anything that's hostile always has the chance to fail, but everything that's positive usually just succeeds.
So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of, especially in combat, you're lacking variety in the number of things you can do. For me, Spirit Guardians, there's no like counter. There's no like spell that's similar to Spirit Guardians that another type of cleric could use. Second level, there's almost no attack spells, and so you're actually better off using a cantrip. And the cleric cantrips are very good. So your first and second slots are basically useless as a cleric in combat. That's the way I see it. And Spirit Guardians is overpowered to the extent that that's basically all you should be using. and there isn't that spell that would replace it really. Are you,
Go on, Dan. Weigh in.
you following?
Come,
something?
I'm tagging you in. I'm
there
tagging
with
you in,
me?
Dan.
Yeah, you have to wrestle with me here. By the way, and 4th level is even worse. 4th level spells are catastrophic for cleric. Like none of the spells do anything, and I think 5th level is also the same because I know because I've got they don't do anything. The spells are just super situational. Sure, when they happen, they're awesome, right? Control water on an aboleth, amazing. But the rest of your time, you're a cantrip robot and spirit guardian, machine. However, there are a few other classes that have similar issues, although not to the same extent. I'll give you an example. This might be a separate topic. We'll continue. Wizards have an issue, is that fire spells are overpowered. Because fireball is overpowered, because firebolt is overpowered.
As a
because
DM,
fireball
you may
is
not.
overpowered.
As a DM, you may not think that, but on the player side of receiving a fireball, I'd say they're overpowered.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Fireball is a fantastic spell, but I
Yes.
don't think that applies to all fire.
No,
But it does,
no.
because Scorching Ray is also a very good spell. Firebolt is
Uh-huh.
a good spell. You got that movable fire one. Ball of fire? Fire
But
spear?
actually, I think you'll find that
Mhm.
fire is the most commonly resisted.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
wait, that actually makes it worse for my argument, doesn't it?
Well, no, because I'm saying fire is overpowered. And also then you get wall of fire. But what I'm saying is, here's the thing: is that all your wizards end up being fire wizards. You know, you could reskin, but it's not part of the book. Reskinning is not in the official rules. It doesn't say you could reskin fireball as a frostball or as a lightning ball.
I'm going to play
Yes.
in the first game that UDM that I'm a player in. I'm gonna roll an Order of Scribes Wizard, and I'm
Mhm.
specifically gonna transmute Fireball into Cold Ball.
So actually, that's a very good point, because that feature that the Order of Scribes has, which is to change one spell's element into another, is something I think all wizards should have.
Okay.
Because that is such an amazing feature. It's even if you limit the number of users that it has, it just creates so much variety in terms of the visuals, the aesthetic, the combat, in terms of strategy as well. I think that's one of the key things that's missing for me for the wizard.
So let me put it out there, because I know that Sorcerer isn't one of your favorite classes.
No, but sorcerers are rubbish anyways. So, I mean, I don't need to get into it.
I'm guessing that's going to be a different rant on with Anton.
But Divine Soul Sorcerer, I would argue, is one of the best
that's cheating.
subclasses.
That's cheating. Don't get it.
Because you now have access to the Cleric spell list.
That's cheating. That doesn't count.
How is it cheating? Apparently, the Sorcerer's class list is rubbish.
Wizard of the Coast went, you know what? Sorcerer's really bad. And Cleric is also really bad. What if we put the two together? And then maybe we'll get something decent.
Well, like yourself, I know people who absolutely love the Cleric class, and they always find the Cleric spell list to be very versatile.
I love the Cleric class. I'm saying
evidently you don't. You're not here. You are just beating it down.
There's problems with the spellcasting because some spells are overrepresented because they're just too damn good, and there's no viable secondary option. Wizard has like a bunch of secondary options which are, not fireball. There is no secondary option for Spirit Guardians.
How would you feel if you sat down with your Cleric and the DM said, "Hey everyone, I've decided to just import, boom, this stack of third-party spell lists from all of these different creators. I'm chucking them all in, and they're all for clerics."
I think as long as they are not better than Spirit Guardians, I think that could be interesting. I think that would really increase the range and the aesthetic of clerics.
Isn't the problem with Spirit Guardians that nothing is better than Spirit Guardians?
Yeah, as you said, that should be the only spell you're using.
But there's no viable alternative.
Else.
There's no viable alternative to that spell as a damaging spell.
Sure.
There isn't. First, second level, you've got nothing that does damage.
I will be honest. Like when when you cast Spirit Guardians with Balthazar and you catch something and you wade into the middle of the room and catch everything in it, that and L's Moonbeam, in my head, I just think, oh, those monsters are written off. Like
That
they're done
I mean,
for. I can forget about them.
especially
I'll just let them stand there burning up.
because you've got a 21 AC Warforged machine with Warcaster in the middle. That stuff is staying there. So yeah, I can get it. I mean, maybe that's not the point of the cleric. Maybe it's not about putting out those deeps, but you're also not really a support class. So what are you doing? What am I, you're just there for the side bits where you get to cast your once in a campaign spell? Is that what cleric does? You tell me. Right in the comments below.
This is such a spicy take.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. This is the point
I
of
would
Rant with
say-
Anton. Yeah.
I mean, you say cleric doesn't really do all that much, but the cleric is the off everything. So you can have a cleric as the off support, the off tank, the off. They are literally a support class. They're there to support everyone else, and their spells, personally, I think reflect that. It's with a cleric, you have to be very, very clever because you have to pick your spells in advance and know exactly what situation you're going to. If you go into an aboleth,
by the way.
oh, this is the like
This is-
I know clerics who have surprised me in their game because they've well ahead like this is the situation we're going into. I need this, 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 and this, and then they'll hit me with a spell which uses naff, and they'll be like devastating my entire encounter.
I'm going to name and shame Anton during the Prince of the Apocalypse campaign when he played his grave cleric Julian. One of the other players was mortified when he found out that Anton had written his spell choices in Biro because, quote, why would I ever change them?
This is the dullest, by the way.
Oh no!
I just never changed. Because I already had the best selection of spells for any situation. So except maybe adding a control water if we're on the sea, what else am I going to change? And if there's a funeral, I'll get ceremony. That's it.
But surely is this not just like saying why would a wizard do anything other than cast Fireball?
No, because there's many reasons not to cast Fireball. And there's loads of alternatives to Fireball. So that's
right.
This is again why the nitpick with specific clerics. But Carl, you touched on a very good point, and I think you are right, is that clerics are not meant to be good at everything. They're just very, very versatile in what they can do, and they do bring a lot to the table. So that might be why I feel their spellcasting is a bit limited. It's because they have all these other things that they can bring to the table.
Well, I think their domains are what bring a lot of their oomph to them. Like you want to be an off DPS Tempest. You want to be you want to be the main healer. You choose Life Cleric, but you know what I mean. It's like your domain.
If you want to be a blaster, you go light. Yeah. Like the fact that there are so many domain choices, I think really is one of the cleric's biggest draws, isn't it? Like
they're usually not very good though. Those features.
I mean, they've all got their time. I mean,
Life
Cleric
is very good.
Life Cleric is very good. I mean, Forge Cleric, amazing. Twilight, Peace, they're all really, really good clerics. And I mean, sure, I guess when I think about what makes a Twilight or Forge or Peace Cleric good, I'm not thinking about the additional spells they get. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Don't give him too much, otherwise he's going to walk away with this such an ego.
But I don't like. There's a part of me that when I look at clerics, I kind of think, oh, great! At level 5, we're gonna start having spirit guardians flying around, and that'll be really handy to help. To have. Similarly to when you look at a warlock and go, oh, Eldritch Blast, is it?
Yeah, I guess that's similar. But here's the thing: if you take give me 2 signature spells for wizard. Fireball.
Signature spells.
Yeah,
Fireball, magic missile.
Yeah,
magic missile. Say invisibility as well, and fly. Okay. Remove those spells. Wizard's still pretty good. Right. You still have some really, really competent spells in there, right? Remove Spirit Guardians and Spiritual Weapon and Bless. Cleric trash. But listen, to prove a point, I will go into BYOB and I will make a wizard without those spells, and you'll still go. Damn, pretty good.
I think I'd be more interested to see you make a cleric without Spirit
No,
Guardian's
we know it's
spiritual
gonna be
weapon.
terrible. We know it's gonna be terrible.
Is that going to
Right.
be our next BYOB then?
Maybe I'll think about it. I am next. I am. We're
You
gonna
are
might have
next.
to invent a
You
new
are
segment.
next.
Anton makes a point in BYOB. Right.
Oh.
We might have to end it there, I'm afraid, folks. I know
Yeah.
you'd like to listen more of this, but there's only so much time.
Do you feel better? Do you feel as if a great weight is
Yeah.
lifted from your chest?
You
I
look
feel-
you look happier.
You
Yeah,
look lighter.
this has been weighing on my shoulders for a long time. I've had to talk about it, so yeah. This was the occasion for it.
Well, hopefully we build up a bit before the next rant on with Anton.
We're gonna give it a few months, and then we'll come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I can only apologise to the cleric lovers out there who enjoy the particular spells. We are sorry for him, but unfortunately he did help set this tavern up, and he
Don't
is
tweet me.
unfortunately he's bound to this place. So
Don't at me, please.
don't. But if you do want to talk about Anton's hot take, just plonk it down in the comments below.
And I will reply fiercely. Is what I will do.
He will reply fiercely. Oh, thank God! That bell, that bell means the tavern is closing. Not a moment too soon.
I think you have to throw a few patrons out. They're getting a bit rambunctious.
Yeah, I think they're a bit. I think there were people who really enjoy clerics, or maybe a few clerics themselves.
Yeah.
All the clerics left the tavern.
Oh, they'll be back. They enjoy it too much here. So, where can people find you?
I can be found on Twitter at TBD_Anton. And you can tweet me about why you love clerics or why you hate them.
Yes, so you can find me DMing the Call Me Echoes War campaign over on the Explorers of Elsewhere channel. You can find me on Twitter at DMDanT, and you can find me on Instagram at DMDMT. You can also find us all on TikTok at Explorers of Elsewhere.
And you can find me at Group Stormbear. That's GROOP Stormbear. That's both Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow us here at the tavern at Tavern Between. Again, both Twitter and Instagram. Enjoy your last drinks, and please be considerate to our neighbours as you leave. There is an angry mob of clerics gathering outside. So just
Wonder why.
yeah, just go around them, and we'll slip Anton out the back.
I'm going to use my rogue skills now.
And hopefully we catch you next time. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Release segments like this from the Tavern Between Dimensions every Friday here on the Explorers of Elsewhere channel. Otherwise, if you want to listen to the episode in full, you can check us out on Spotify and Amazon Music.